Dynamic player, hard to predict, hard to play against, a bit of a nightmare to prepare for. It is Haas. His hair's looking especially full of volume. Got to, of course, insulate that large brain, those strategies.
That's exactly right. Against this Zerg opponent in the red, it is Rex.
You know, can Rex the king take down the king?
Yeah.
It's always the question we ask when these two face off. You know, who is the true T-Rex? It's that guy with the camera on the left. It's the mastermind, the madman. Gateway, Forge. Probe's got a plan. Now, what is the response? I've been very disappointed the last few games. I think it was Go Joey, who didn't even pull a drone when he saw the probe come in. Once again, no drone pulled until after the pylon goes down. And for me, I think that's a huge missed opportunity to get on top of this. I think as soon as your Overlord sees the probe coming in, you can get a drone down there. You're going to make it a lot harder for Haas to wall off. You're going to force him to commit to more buildings here. Very chill. Cancel, cancel. Gets the most efficient wall off on that cannon. And you can even cancel that last pylon once. Now he sees, hey, no drones are being pulled. Super chill. Now, no Cybercore is down just yet. He started mining gas. Probe goes to the low ground to drop that Cybercore now. Oh, he actually misplaces it. Actually, it's not a wall off. Bit of an odd wall off there for Haas. I'm not sure if that's on purpose or not.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say it is. He's going to opt for maybe a cannon on this side as well. Haas is very methodical with this. He doesn't overcommit with cannons or anything. He already cancelled one.
Going to come in the near future. One Oracle's completely out of juice now. The other one's still got 60 energy, but the Lings are going to start dropping. Does he commit to the Nidus? There we go. He says, your Oracles are low. What are you going to do, mate? The probes are being pulled. Oh, he knows he cannot let this finish. Haas committing everything to attack that. He is going to shut down the first Nidus. A Stalker warps in, but it dies. Losing some of the DPS, but oh, Rex needed to run those Lings away. But Lings in the natural at the same time. Ooh, the nice shield battery micro, though. Another Nidus in the main base. These Lings running circles. So far, Haas has defended well, but his Oracles are dead weights. They cannot fight right now. One of them turns on its laser beam. It's a panic activation of the Oracle. Oh my god, I think he might actually be getting overwhelmed here. Oh, but the Queens don't have support right now. Those Oracles are out of juice, so it's just probes. One Adept, one Stalker. The transfusers go down, but a whole lot of Zerglings are about to pop out. 21 Lings are about to enter this fight. Wow, I think Rex might have actually done this. The Lings are starting to surround these units. The Queens pop into the Nidus. They pop back out of the Nidus. Lovely micro by Rex.
Oh my goodness. Rex, the underdog up against Haas, takes game number 1.
Yeah, let's see a bit more of that. But yeah, even if they've gone for those extra bases and cancelled it, I feel like, well, what if you just build Stalkers and batteries or Immortals and Shield batteries, right? You're in between their bases. You could still make it work. So there's definitely a chance of us later in this series seeing Haas go back to the cannon rush and counter the same scenario. And rather than cannoning those hatcheries, let them finish, but just say, hey, I'm building Immortals here and I'm going to start killing you before you get to really use those hatcheries and get any benefit from them. Now, of course, that's not what's happening in this game. This is a 2-gate Adept pressure opening for Haas, and even a second gas. We're going to see a 2-gate Adept, and then we're going to see a pylon go up and a proxy Oracle to follow it. This is a super aggressive opening from Haas.
Aggression seems to be the name of the game for him at the moment. And Rex may find himself on the defensive, but hopefully with some good scouting, he'll catch wind of what's going on here. He has taken the third base as his natural due to that early probe scout. I have seen some Zergs who are like, you know what, I'm not even going to see if there's a probe at the natural. I'm just going to go for the third, because there are some Protosses that no matter what will deny that natural from you. But the first few Lings are coming out here from Rex. We'll see if he spreads any out across the map or if he'll just send them over.
Well, with that base being spread out, these two Adepts coming down so early, this is a great adjustment by Haas. I mean, there is right now a solid minute until link speed finishes. You do not want to be dealing with these two Adepts this early. I mean, I love that there's no drones on this expansion. This is good preparation by Rex. No easy targets available. It's just keeping those Lings up in creep on the main base. And that is, of course, where they are safe. The Stargate has now started. There is a Stalker out at home as well defending. The Adepts do manage to grab just one kill. Another Zergling as well. They back off to that third base. Now, that's a lot of Zerglings that have been built, but the drone count, very low. Rex is going to need to get back to droning very soon, unless he's going all in with a Ling Flood. That production.
The sort of main pathways here, but the Oracle is going to put an end to that. He doesn't have a whole lot of active creep tumors, so that kind of sucks for him. But yeah, continuing to make more and more units for Overlords on the way here as well.
Yeah, that Spire is almost finished now for Rex. Very powerful piece of tech. Hasn't been spotted yet, but Haas is on the front. Archon Zealots, 3 Immortals, and a good number of Force Fields. 66 drones are up, 7 Ravagers morphing. Lots of Lings building. I think with this much units, you should be fine as Rex.
Yeah.
And Rex has even got Lings ready for a flank. I mean, you do not want to commit too hard into that. Haas, he'd love to shave some units off with Force Fields. Haas is the master of kind of just posturing aggressively and looking for free kills. He's very patient with his micro. Remember though, okay, charges kicked in, he's going for it.
He is. Biles on the front. There's a counterattack at the same time towards the third. A few of those Ravagers getting stuck at the front with the Queens there. Still plenty of beef left over on this army. A lot of Roaches and a few Ravagers as well. Is there actually enough here for Haas to continue to push through? The drones are coming off the line. That looks promising for Haas. Another warp in from Charge Lots. Oh no, the drones are going to get absolutely shredded. Spine Crawl is just not soon enough to make a difference in this fight. And there's still 3 Immortals alive as well.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe he's made the timing work. The Immortals, oh, he doesn't quite have the critical mass of Roaches. He almost had enough, but just not quite enough. And oh my god, those 3 Immortals just won't go down. Every single Roach falls. Haas is such a bloody wizard. Honestly, this guy's sleeves, how huge are they? He's got so many tricks. He pulls out one card, he pulls out a rabbit, 3 Immortals he pulls out. Like, what the heck? Yeah. I don't know how he wins these games. Haas is just, he's amazing.
Pulls out a string of endless handkerchiefs and then some. He's just doesn't run out of gas. And I think Rex is a little bit stuck here as well, being like, how did this happen, man? I was looking so good. Oh, almost gets the Warp Prison, but nice little juke there. Looks like he may clean this up, but gosh, he's lost so much. I mean, 30 workers and falling to a 3-base Protoss with 50 plus. You're dreaming, mate. GG. Haas evens up the score.
Yeah, I don't know.
And keen to see what the tech choice is going to be for Haas here.
Yeah, more standard opening, right? So it's like, ooh, okay, now we get to see like what you want to go just by default. Like, what is your default composition? Because this is not off the back of, oh, after this aggression I do this. So this is just what he wants to be heading towards. So is it that Void Race that we talked about that we haven't really got a chance to see it all yet? Is it just Oracle Adept into something else? Is it the old Charge Lot style where he gets a Charge Zealot drop and then really is just going for like Mass Zealot, really maneuverable style? There's so many different things which Haas has mastered over the years. He did Mass Oracle for like 2 years straight.
Yeah,
every game.
That. So good. Yeah, interestingly, I don't really think of Haas and Adept printers that much. Like, he's not necessarily that guy that is doing the in-build. I think it's still a perfectly good build, but yeah, he seemed definitely against like Gogo Joey and Yoga a little bit more inclined to go for that Stargate tech and actually switch it up into the Voids. He seems to do pretty well with that. Obviously, the Old Faithful Oracle is kind of like the default option most people will roll with. So we'll see what he throws out here, going for the Stargate once again.
Yeah, hoping to see a Void Ray personally. I'd like to see that. Rex, of course, not really committing a lot to scouting information just yet. So he's a second gateway at the front, which kind of tends to indicate it is a Stargate opening, especially with a few Adepts out this early.
Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised to see safety Spore Crawlers in the main at 345 and oh, whoa. Oh.
That is an interesting push. Okay.
The Adepts are in the main. There's no info for Haas. Oh, whoa. Oh my, what the, why is he, what?
Hello? Okay, well, he's gonna tackle the pilot Haas is doing is like giant long 2-base all in. Surely you're gonna try and get another base. What's the tech? And he might gather here that, oh, okay, well, a good comeback unit, if not the DT, tends to be the disruptor.
Lings and Roaches breaking those rocks down. Just looking to open things up. That fourth base, not the fastest, but when your opponent's third is starting and your fourth is finishing, you're feeling pretty good as a Zerg. And, you know, Rex here, I really like what he's been doing in these early games. I feel like this is 3 games in a row where he's actually done, you know, somewhere between dominating and winning the early game. The scoreline doesn't say it, but it's definitely going to show a 2-1 in Rex's favor in the near future. I mean, Void Rays and Disruptors, air weapons, this is a cool comeback composition.
Yeah.
But I feel like Rex can slam his head into Haas's knife and then break the knife because his head is that much bigger, you know? Like, there is no way numbers-wise to lose this as long as he just keeps attacking.
The Void Rays are such good defensive units. They're going to do a fantastic job against a lot of these Roaches. Oh, the Disruptor shots could be juicy as well. He may actually clean up everything here in the main. As many
Well, this
Roaches
is rather
as that
heroic,
was.
isn't it? This is actually pretty sick. I don't think
like,
it's enough. Losing even a few probes to Disruptor, especially if the third base goes down, is going to be pretty unrecoverable. 67 drones behind this, as long as, yeah, I mean, there's mutas out. I was going to say, actually, a wave of mutas would be fantastic. I didn't even catch it in the production tab. They're going to come in and, of course, shut down this War Prism. Haas, I think, is just going to have to tap out. He's got 2 Stargates, but he's just not going to have time to get the Phoenix out.
Yeah. He gave us hope. He really made a solid effort into the comeback here, and he's got the perfect composition against just Mass Roach Ling. The mutas really do complicate it, though. He still doesn't have a third base. He's running out of juice here, using the shield battery to try and actually fight these mutas, and he will ward him away for the moment. That's the crazy thing. This is now a 12-minute game. He's still alive after losing like 8 zillion probes in the early game.
Yeah, by the way, that hit point Void Ray, that's the one from the start of this game. It's 42 kills. It is an Executor. It's got a whole bunch of Disciple Void Rays following it around for work experience. It's meant to show them the ropes.
Yes, they're shadowing. Oh, wow. He actually makes a good go of fighting those mutas now. There's a couple of Phoenixes in there. 2 more on the way. It's not as easy for the mutas to be so gung-ho around this air army. I guess the problem is, like, how does Haas get out of this base?
Well, Disruptor is going to kill casual 14 units, so that's a start. 10 more of those, and maybe you can catch up to the 84 drone economy, Zerg. No, just kidding. Here we go. Rex is not going to give him time. Rex knows how to use his advantage. He pushes through here. The Ling damage is insane. The batteries are getting overrun. The Muta's forcing a ton of units into the main. Disruptor shot. Oh,
oh my goodness.
Oh, Haas is like, you know, you look at his face, he's like, yeah, looks a little stressed out, but I mean, that was pretty epic play from behind. He knows how to make those comebacks.
And representing your region.
Yeah, you know, it's incredible. I always think about the players when they do make it through to that season finals, and you know, often you do get the beautiful honor of getting like Raynor first round or something like that, but there's always crazy fierce competition at those season finals, but definitely something which the players do look forward to. Lots of money on the line, both here in the regionals as well as in the season finals, and definitely something the players look forward to. So far, Rex has been well prepared in this series. Going into Romanticide, yeah, I don't know. It's something where it's like, hey, you've done well in basically all the games. The more standard one with that Adept shot down, the DTs did get the sniping, and that big follow-up push finishing you off. It's one of those things where it's like, you don't need to change it a lot here as Rex. Everything's working. It's like a 2% change in that game to make your Ravages early and to intercept the push a little bit faster. Ooh, the Lings are now...
Did you see that? Okay, see that.
Okay, finally, but there's no Roachhorn. Yeah, Rex was being so greedy this game. Really thought he was playing against full-on Skytoss. I think the Queens can definitely be a beginning to the defense. They're going to come forward here. And, it's just not quite enough Queens. There's not much transfuse yet. He needs a bit more time. He needs a lot more Zerglings out, and he needs that Roachhorn to finish.
+1's on the way. He's just making a lot of spines, trying to get a wall up here to buy himself the time that he needs, but the Shades get through. Well, he doesn't commit to that just yet. The Queens coming forward now that they have that +1, but it's going to be really hard with these Adepts targeting them down. You kind of need to save him. He still needs a lot more here. Rotron getting close to finishing, but it seems so far away when the Adepts are already chewing up your third base, threatening to go into the main as well. You can't not take those shades seriously.
Yeah, skipping the Rotron here from Rex, an absolute disaster. You can't do this against Haas. He just has too many of these time attacks up his sleeve, and he's going to commit now to the Shade, because that's 21 Adepts in a ball. And I'll tell you what, Zerglings do good against small numbers of Adepts, especially when they have melee. Well, he hasn't made melee this game. He's made +1 range. It's not even helpful in this scenario at all. The Zerglings just unable to commit because they know there are no right decisions here. These Adepts are Zergling slaughterers, and they're loving this engagement.
Yeah, Spines and the Natural are a small saving grace, but there's just so much here from Haas still. He's still got the Void Rays in tow as well. There's no injects happening while this goes on, by the way, because he's had to use all the Queens on the defense. It's really hard to get in there and just pop one on the hatchery, plus he lost the third base, so the unit production also isn't ideal here. He's got a fair bit of money, but he is just going to have to tap out of this game. It's too many Adepts, too much firepower here.
Yeah, going +1 range, but forgetting the Rotron, a big mistake here for Rex. Looked like he was trying to go for a big Hydra Queen all in. Honestly, would have been my bet. I think he was trying to get away with being a bit greedy, immediately turn it into a big push. Sometimes that works out well. It's a great way of shutting down those mass Void Ray plays. He's hoping it's a Black Swan. It is Rex. Looked great up to that last game. The last game was unnecessary gamble, in my opinion, and didn't work out for him. Now, Haas has gone gas before Gateway here to get a little bit more gas mining early on, make that opening smooth, and I love the fake cannon rush. Now, Rex pulls a single drone, though. Remember, Rex does not massively overreact to cannon rushes anyway, so it's just going to check down there, see no pylon, and go, oh, okay, all normal. All quiet over here on the Western Front.
He sure is. Sending those overlords over in position. Gonna follow that probe for a second. See if he grabs that third base, or if that probe might mess that up a little bit. In fact, okay, yeah, he does pull back. I was like, really? Gonna follow that all the way out?
There's just that thing where, like, you know, like you see a worker in your base and you're like, yeah, it's a scout. But then there's like a worker from a certain player, or it gets microed a certain way, and you're like, oi, what's he doing? Like your hair stands up on the back of your neck, and you're like, oi, what is that? When you start just like checking corners and things, you're like, is there barracks fluid in my base? Like, well, what's happening? You know, you're like instantly nervous. And I feel like that's just a health. So I think he's continuing to confirm, hey, there's no probe production. I mean, this is sick play by Rex. He just has this. He sees no lights flashing on the Nexus. He knows he's being all in. He doesn't necessarily know it's this, but I mean, with this number of Zerglings, it feels like he does even know that. 44 drones versus 41 probes. A perfect moment to stop building workers. The Stalker count is growing. Now, don't get me wrong. Even this prepared, you can still lose. If those Stalkers micro well enough, I think those Lings need to work their way around the rear for a flank.
Yep, just Belly doesn't get that observer there, and the Lings try and come in from the side, gets a good surround on some of those Stalkers, forces the blink backwards. The Queen's getting a little bit overextended off the creep, does need to back up and maybe drop some more tumors, but he is shredding a lot of these Stalkers, and the push has to retreat.
Yeah, this is a stomping defense here for Rex. Says, get out of my base, and Haas here, he's committed. He could actually take a third behind this. He could add a Robo-Bay and go Disruptors. I think these are definitely things he might have to start considering, because every moment he commits more here, it's like, well, maybe, just maybe you can make this work, but Rex is respecting it. He's not droning right now. He's massing Ravager Ling, and he is coming in with a huge number of units.
Oh my goodness, that's so much. You might have to recall, dude.
Oh, he can't get out. He can't get out. He's trapped. He's trapped. Oh my god,
no.
Has Rex actually done it? Is he going to take Haas out here?
This is so wild. I gotta admit, I love Rex. I think he's a great player. He's a veteran of this scene, but I thought maybe like a 3-1 to Haas. Rex is looking so good, man. He's reading him very well. Even game number 2 was just something that sort of slipped away from him. He looked really good at the start. And he is once again bullying us off the map with a whole bunch of Lings and Ravagers. And Haas is desperately trying to get something going here, but he's like, well, This isn't going quite how I planned. He's actually trying to upgrade a +1 behind this.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Rex isn't drunk, Rex can probably attack off creep. He's just got to be careful. Rex. Oh, he's bleeding out Zerglings here. Oh, I mean, come on, you cannot be giving these little things back towards Haas. I think, honestly, he's built 10 more drones. He's making more Roach Ravager, which is great for Rex, but still got to be careful. He's got to knuckle down those Stalkers of Haas coming forward. Those Lings need to come back to flank. A lot of Lings are on the other side of the map right now. They're not at home.
Oh, he actually gets in though. If he takes down the core, that means that no more Stalkers. He's starting to get through the structures here. Warping from Haas, trying to save this. The shield battery overcharge goes off, but it's healing a Zealot at the front line. The Ling's still doing some work, but the Stalkers on the front here for Rex. Likewise, trying to find ways to do damage. A bit hard to attack up into that ramp into so many Ravages though. Looks like the Lings got thwarted there at the front. They're going to dip in for another round though.
Haas is using his experience here. He's so patient. He's just trying to bait Rex into a bad engagement. Rex, though, just refuses to take the bait so far. And look at this, just zoning out with Biles. His Roach speed's going to kick in a moment. He already has 11 Ravages, 19 Roaches, 35 Zerglings. But that Stalker count, they've got +1 now. And oh my god, he eats massive Biles. He eats his own Biles there. Rex, uh-oh, it seems like his patience is deserting him here in this high-pressure moment. His Zerglings are going to go in for the counterattack, but it's already been rewalled behind it.
Gets the core. No more Blink Stalkers to warp in for a moment. Haas is immediately rebuilding that. And still just trying to micro up this ramp. If Rex loses too much, yeah.
He's closing the gap though, unit-wise. The +1 Stalkers are being so efficient here. And he really needs to just sandwich this. Like, the longer this goes, the more units are getting picked off. Haas isn't losing anything right now, and you don't want to attack down that choke point. So the thing is, Rex needs to split his army up. He needs to bring those Zerglings and half the Roaches in for a flank. But each time he fights down this ramp like this, the unit's loss time is getting better and better for Haas. He finally loses one Stalker. Don't get me wrong, there's way more money for Rex because he's on 3 bases, but instead of counterattacking, I really think he should still be looking for the flank on this army.
Yeah, even that Roach Warren is in a bit of danger. A lot of Biles going down there on the ramp at once. He's lost a lot of the cannon fodder here. There's not that much left to soak up hits. Haas's trade's looking good. He went from looking really rough to actually contesting this a bit. Rex is trying to muscle forward here. Ling's coming from behind. Will this be enough to get rid of Haas? Will this nullify the threat?
Rex has got to get down there. He's not moving down that ramp fast enough. And then the Stalker's microing back. Oh my god. Experience, veterancy. He never ever breaks down. Haas is so iron-willed and disciplined here under pressure. He's just looking to micro his way out of this situation. It's Mass Ravager. They're an expensive unit, but they're a long-range unit. They don't do that much damage though. The Stalker's much more flexible with the micro. He's adding disruptors and +3 attack behind this. Rex only now rebuilding the Roach Warren. He is in trouble right now. He's trying to hang on with the Biles, but they're never landing. The only Biles that have really connected this game have been on his own Roaches. And you know what? The Zerglings just keep trickling in, but they are going down. He's taking out some of these Protoss units. Don't get me wrong. Rex is by no means dead. He's still up in supply. But as the upgrades add in, as the disruptors add in, there's part of me that believes in Haas's ability to bring this back. Now, what is still going for Rex and why he can still be patient is that base is mining out. Haas is still low on money. He still needs to make a play. He comes a bit deeper on creep than maybe he should have. Loses a few Stalkers for it, but his disruptors are trapped behind his wall. He's going to pull probes into the next fight because, yeah, he's going to take a third, in fact. Okay, but it's so slow. His income is dropping. He's mining so much less.
Nice Ling run by coming in from Rex. If he discovers that third, he could potentially get the cancel. Looks like Haas is actually moving back though, so he should be able to intercept these Lings. And I just cannot believe how well he's done with this. Yeah, he cleans that up handily. A few sentries coming into the mix as well, and Rex takes the opportunity to make some more drones, get a fourth, go into an infestation pit as well. And that was a really strong battle. I thought Rex was about to make him tap out, but Haas, you can't kill this guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's just soaking the micro situation. And the thing is, Mass Ravager seems okay. It is so bad against the disruptors. Even when you add Fungal in here with the infestation pit, which is great for locking those Stalkers down, you got to be so careful about those disruptors. Like, I get the +2 missile attacks. You invested so much in Roach Ravager, you got to double down on it to some extent, but I kind of wish he had a melee upgrade here. The Zerglings are going to be such an important part of this next fight. Cancel, does get the money back. But the disruptors have been hidden. Ooh, I think they're just out of vision. He hasn't shown those disruptors just yet.
Not quite yet. Rex is still looking for opportunities to do some damage back at Haas's base, see if he can make him pull back, get in the mineral lines, anything that'll give him an edge here, because he's really struggled to gain a lot of ground. It was really Haas having to pull back and take his own third for a bit more money that gave him the breathing room, and he is continuing to morph more and more Ravages. That's such an obscene number of Ravages, actually.
Yeah, giant Ling Run by comes in, but it doesn't find anything. And, you know, Haas is just blocking everything. His efficiency is quite good this game. He's got that third up in mining now, and we see the income gap is just completely closed. The fourth base is being rebuilt here for Rex, who is finally starting carapace upgrades. No melee just yet, just wants to be a bit tankier, but more and more Zerglings do go down. Oof, lovely force fields. There has been a grand total of 290 Zerglings killed in this game, by the way. So 31 Stalkers, 290 Zerglings. The Stalkers are a much more expensive unit, though.
That's a lot of Lings. He's moving forward again, clearing up a bit more of this creep. 30 Banes coming into the mix for Rex as well. Got to be a tad careful of that, but, you know, Disruptor hit on those can put a pretty solid end to that kind of nonsense.
Plus 2 Rangers just kicked in, though. So, you know what? The upgrade advantage isn't as big, but the army supply, it's like, hey, it's 10 up for Zerg, but a lot of that's Ravages. If the Biles don't land, they're not that effective. Once again, blocking the harassment completely here is Haas. And Rex, I mean, he's got like a 5-screen surround set up right now, but Haas keeps repositioning and coming from surprising angles. So Rex is struggling. He's like, can you please just let me surround your army? If he gets to surround, he crushes it, but Haas just won't let him pin him down.
Yeah, I love that he has defense at his third base as well, knowing that Rex is going to try and find an opportunity there. So, coming forward, few Banes in there. He's looking for juicy hits on the sentries, and this might be the engagement he's looking for. Finally, some Biles hit. He's coming in from the right side as well, and Haas is completely surrounded here. There's more Biles coming down. Is this the moment that Rex was looking for? There's so much Zerg left. Haas is down to just Stalkers and a couple of Disruptors, a Colossus from behind trying to contribute as well.
He was named the king. He was named Rex his entire life, but he's always been butchered by this monster of a Protoss player. Finally here in an important match, here in the semi-finals of the Taiwan region, it looks like he is finally going to triumph over the king of the region, the Colossus falling. There is one Disruptor and a handful of Stalkers left. A 14 worker advantage, a single base advantage, a handful of Ravages. Do they survive, though? Haas strikes back with a lovely Disruptor shot. Says, if you chase me into my territory, you're going to pay for it, mate. But nonetheless, it's just a handful of Protoss units against what is still a formidable army of Zerg, and the upgrades. That's what's really started to catch up. +1 melee, +1 carapace, +2 range upgrades have all kicked in now for the Zerg, and the army is rebuilding. Lings, Banes, Ravages, the fourth base is healthily mining. If he can secure a fifth as well, it's going to be lights out for Haas.
Yeah, Haas is dreaming about having a healthy fourth base at this point. That's a very oversaturated Nexus there. He's just trying to squeeze out a little bit more from what he's got left. Another Colossus, stay active with the units that he's got, trying to find a way in. This has been pretty back and forth. But Rex finally starting to look like he's taking the stronger position in this game. Took a really good engagement, and he's got plenty left over.
Stalkers microing their hearts out. They do finally decide to blink back and disengage. Viper's on the way. Oh, a brilliant addition from Rex. I mean, you've got the Ravager Zergling, a bunch of Banes as well. You abduct these Disruptors, these Colossi into your army. And that's everything that's being relied on, right? It's double Robo Disruptor Colossus. Two Colossus out, 2 more on the way. They've got Thermal Lance. They've got 3-1 upgrades, by the way. Shout out to Haas for keeping that Forge working throughout this game. But if he can't defend the fourth, he's in huge trouble. And I mean, there's Baneling Runbys coming in. I don't think Baneling Runbys are actually the thing that'll win the game here for Rex. I think if he's going to do that sort of stuff, he does need to squeeze another 10, 15 workers to play the longer game. But right now, I would love him to just get some energy, go across this map, one big brutal timing to finish the game.
Yes, he hasn't found a lot of success with that, has he? Haas has been quite on top of the defense in that regard. And he's still looking for opportunities to do damage with this Warp Prism. Oh, this could be really nice. I think it's 3. But hey, 3 is better than nothing. It's still not a huge drone count for Rex despite his 5th base coming up.
Ooh, Baneling's on the top. Are they finally going to find an opening? There's no Blizzstalkers there this time around. Good reaction by Haas. Could have been worse. 7 probes of shield battery. About as good of a save as you could have. But you know what? Only 37 probes left after that. Oh, a huge mistake. Losing that disruptor. Every unit is sacred. He's going to try and hold the choke point in the middle as Haas. And nicely done. Traps a lot of Zerglings, but they're not going to make the mistake of going through there again. They will come around through a wider choke point. Haas looks like he's actually pushing. And I mean, this is the bravery of this madman. He's actually going to push into the Zerg, but the Viper's not what he was expecting.
Oh no, all those mighty units getting abducted and absolutely demolished here. Stalker, Sentry, Zealot is all that's left to hold that choke. GG!